Hello, welcome back to Being in Nothingness. We're gonna break more new ground today because we plan to do a new world. So yeah, we're in the temple. We finished fully the Island of Petals last episode, a feat of which I am incredibly proud of. So yeah, this episode we're gonna move on to some new stuff. So there's a new puzzle in there. As I said, we're not gonna do the old unsolved puzzles yet. We will do them when we're done with this world. So yeah, welcome to the Island of the Guardians. Difficulty 2 beans. Wow. Island of the Guardians. It's got a couple squares there. What does this do? Doesn't do anything. Okay, so the recipe of the monster is given by what's here. Right? So if I left one bean down and put one here. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay. So I want to have a bomb here, right? So I just gotta put a red bean here. Okay, so I put a monster down. I put a bucket down here. I put the red bean here for it to collect. I shove it in, and I set the red bean down there. And now this is a bomb, which I can put here, down here. It blows up there, and I'm out. Okay, cool. So spaces that dictate the recipes, that is new. Alright, okay, looks like we're in the middle of the island at the moment. Oh, that is big. Okay, wow, that looks massive. Look at the area we're in. And then look at the area of that puzzle up there. It's like twice as big as this thing. Maybe that isn't really a surprise given last island, but still, that's big. Ooh, oh, an altar's right there. Wait, what? Just to walk all the way past and then come back. Okay. Interesting. Alright, let's start reading, I guess. We have a lot of stuff to go through. Charlene Dalton, personal notes. I've been avoiding putting pen to paper since we got trapped here. Oh, they got trapped here. Okay. Well, maybe they're up there, I guess, maybe. I didn't think I would get anything out of it myself, and it's hard for me to imagine anyone else wanting to read it. But Carl finally convinced me to try it, so here we go. You might think I would have learned to trust my team more after the artificial islands turned out so well, but I'm ashamed to admit I was shocked when I saw their plans for keeping a monster stable outside of a puzzle. It might take a lot of time, but I don't see any reason it wouldn't work. I couldn't be proud of everyone. Oh, okay. I thought, like, at this moment, I thought at this moment you would have been, like, disappointed at them, but no, this made you even more impressed. I couldn't be proud of everyone. I only wish I had the foresight to offer more encouragement from the start. Whether the rest of the plan works is another matter, of course, but this time, even if I'm not as confident as the rest of the team, I think I can at least manage to be hopeful. Frank and Michelle are holding a meeting about their backup plan in a few minutes, but perhaps we won't even need it. Alright, so two plans going on right now. Backup plan is one of them, but the other one, the more obvious one, is the keeping a monster outside. So, like, I don't know. I hope there would be maybe like a meta area where we have to bring monsters in and out of puzzles. That would be insane, but yeah. Okay, Carl. Michelle, this is really great work. I really can't say one way or the other if I think it'll work, but either way, if we do get out of here, you should definitely write it up. This is easily an Ars Leguminum paper. I gotta assume that's like an award or something. If we put all our minds together, I do think there's at least a chance, and I can't begin to express how eager I am to get started. I would do anything to get to see my kids again. Okay, Carl's on board. Frank, Michelle, I think you're right. This is definitely worth a shot. Like you said, we haven't come up with anything else. If we do manage to get something working, I have some thoughts on what the monster could look like. Oh, you guys are making a new monsters outside. Interesting. Oh, I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea of what that monster would be. Okay, I'm not gonna say it, but I think I know what's going on. Field notes by Frank. If I put too many beans on one of these things, it doesn't work at all. Oh, one of these things. Okay. Just random field notes out of a bunch of stuff. Where's the last one? Where's Charlene Dalton? Is this Charlene Dalton? Oh, this is. Okay, so where's Michelle? I don't know, but Michelle hasn't written anything so far. It's all just Carl and Frank responding to Michelle. I guess maybe Michelle's working so hard she doesn't have time to write. Maybe that's her work. I don't know. It's possible. I need 10 puzzles to get up there. How many down here? 3. Okay. Any 1 beans here? 2, 1. There are 1 beans here. Okay, there are 4 1 beans here. Okay. Let's solve those first. Let's go clockwise, starting from afar. Okay, from afar. From afar. Okay, so this is a one-way, yeah. That is that. So I gotta get what, something there? It really could be anything actually. It typically would have been a bomb, but now it can be anything. Oh, hi bunny. Hey, here. Are you gonna follow me? Oh, you are gonna follow me. Huh, that's kind of cute. Okay. You're gonna watch me do my stuff, I guess. What will that do? That will put you down. So I need to put something there. Put you down. That will deactivate the beam there. And then I guess this might have to be a bucket. And the idea is from here I shoot upwards, turn you into a bucket, then I shoot across the bucket and turn you into something else. Okay. And then what's gonna have to be here? Well, it could also be a roller that rolls down. But what activates you then? I don't know, but something has to be here. It could be a bucket that walks into the water. Maybe. I mean, if it were like... See, I don't think I would know how to get a... I don't know how I would get like a bomb here. I don't know if a roller coming in here can help me get out, because how would I shoot this afterwards? So I feel like it'll have to be a bucket, but how do I get a bucket here? I guess a roller here... If this were a roller that rolled down... that feels obvious. Like, in fact, I can do that right now, and like I think that would be a problem. So this is the thing we're trying to avoid, right? Yeah. So if I had... I'm thinking maybe a bomb goes in here? Right, maybe I could push in a bomb to explode this area. Yeah, so roller goes down, I push in a bomb, the bomb destroys the roller. And then the roller becomes... a bucket? Because the bomb will remain, the bean will remain. And I will still need to be able to shoot across it. So you need to start as a roller, then become a bucket. Ah, no. Then the direction will be different. I was thinking I could use a bucket to transfer the recipe from this direction in this direction, but... No, that's the opposite of what I want. I want the opposite, where the red bean moves from here to here. Oh, or maybe I have a second... Actually, hold on. Yeah, what if 2 monsters have the same recipe? Then what do I create? Nothing. Okay, well that's a problem too. So I genuinely cannot have... I can't even have 2 red beans here. I guess what I could do is bucket goes in, puts down a red bean here, picks up a red bean here, and then goes away. Okay. Alright, so... We'll start with a bucket being here. We definitely need this to be a roller recipe to start. Do I need to create another red bean to put here? If I do, I'll probably have to do it via... roller here. Wait, I think I'm losing a lot of beans here, am I not? And then bucket here. And then roller here. Oh, you know what? I could duplicate by turning your recipe into something really complicated, right? Wait, but can I? Okay, hold on. Let's try. Let's try putting a bomb here first. So I set up a bomb here. Then I have your recipe be that. I don't like the fact that this roller follows me around. Okay, so instead of this, let's start by activating the bomb. It should be bouncing back and forth between the water. And this should be able to create more beans. Well, it creates beans of this combination. Okay, is that good? Is this a different combination of beans I want? I can't duplicate more beans, I don't think. Because I'll always have to spend 2 beans on 2 monsters. And then I only have 2 beans left to kill a monster. So that's basically using 2 beans to gain 2 beans. And I think that's forced. But maybe this is fine. But I need a recipe for the bomb as well. So I need a bucket. I need a bucket here that goes in and turns a red bean and puts a red bean here. Then removes the recipe of the roller here. That sounds difficult. Oh no, another thing I could do is just have the bucket bounce back. Of course. Why didn't I think of that? So, should we restart this? I think we didn't actually need this combination of beans, but I could just have you be saved, honestly. Okay, so there will be a blocker here to help out, I think. So I need to start off with you being of this recipe. Then I need to have a blocker here. And then I go in. I'm out of a bean, am I not? I'm out of the bucket recipe. Yeah, but this looks kind of good. Now I just need to push in a bucket. I suppose I could try to... If I wanted to get a bomb to go up here, how would that work? I don't know, actually. Actually, can I shoot a recipe here? Oh, I can't. That's interesting. This is the recipe for a bucket, but because it's on a recipe square, I assume that's why I can't shoot it. Interesting. Anyway, sorry. I'm confused now. I want a roller here. Why is this harder than the previous puzzle that I solved? What? I don't know. I want you here. I don't know, because like I want a bomb to go in here and destroy this thing, right? Is that true? And then I want the recipe to change. But that doesn't work. I don't have enough, I don't have enough beans for that. If I had... Okay. So, roller rolls down. Roller rolls down. Is destroyed. Bucket goes in. Grabs this recipe and pulls it back. The problem is that there will be a bean here. So if the bucket goes in with a bean, like maybe this bean. No. See, no, like this, I don't think I understand fully what's happening here. Is there a very simple way to do this? So, like... Bucket... If I set a bucket recipe to be like this, for example, I could go in with a bucket and push it across this way to change the recipe. But why would I want that? So let's say I did this. Roller goes here. I can change the recipe by doing this. Oh, that removes your recipe. I think that's what I want. Because now you won't create any bean anymore. And then I can shoot past you. Ah. So it's not about changing the recipe, it's about removing it entirely, which causes this square or this monster to have no beans coming out of it. Okay, I see. That is not something I expected, but alright, I understand. Wow, for a 1 bean puzzle, that took a while. Alright, useless bean. A useless bean. Let's try this one. Okay, so we have recipes for you and you. I need to destroy you 3 times. I can't get a roller going here. Actually, none of these can be roller destroyed. Okay, I see the problem. We have 1 useless bean that's yellow. Okay. Well, what I could do is create a bomb. Wait, no. How do I get rid of you? If I had 4 beans of 1 color, it would work. Because I could create 3 bombs out of that. Right. Yeah. Okay, then... Suppose I want to do that. Suppose I want to convert. I can create a roller... no, because... I can start by creating a roller first. So that's the roller. Then I can create a bomb and change the roller's recipe. This isn't going to help. Because now I don't have any way to explode the thing. Well, no, I can create the bomb now. Then I change the roller's recipe. Okay, so this results in 2 beans of 2 different colors. Is that good? So this is kind of the exact same thing as you did in the previous level. I'll save it. But can I do anything different with this set of beans? If I try to replicate this, what happens? I think this balances itself out. If I try to replicate the same set of steps, I'll end up with the same set of beans, I think. Okay. Well, that isn't... Is that helpful? Maybe I can repeat this process now? So I can create a roller with just that. Again, as per usual. Then I can create a bomb with just that. But yeah, again, this balances itself out. Because I can now reset the recipe to look like this. And then this happens. So you get the exact same set of beans back. I don't think there's any way to avoid that. Once again, 4 beans with 2 monsters gives you 2 beans, and that would, you know, result in 4 beans either way. Can I ever get 4 beans of the same color is the question. The issue that I'm thinking of is, how would I get rid completely of 1 color? If I put that color in a recipe, then that color is staying as part of the recipe. I can't turn that into a monster. So I think this is the ideal state that I want to be in. Haha. I just have to find 3 explosions out of you. I suppose... Oh, you know what I could do though? I could have an explosion occur here. And that would blow you up. I think that saves exactly enough. Yeah, that saves 1 explosion. I think that's fine. Okay. So let's do this. Ooh, I don't like that. Okay. How would I set you up? How would I set you up? Maybe like that is fine. This seems like an issue. I could try this. So this. Yeah, how do I actually get an explosion here? I feel like an explosion in this area seems good. Okay, maybe like this is fine. No, it's not. Yeah, I'm stuck. Okay. Hold on. Let's go back. Could this have been... I mean, like, it just seems structurally impossible doing it here. The explosion has happened in one of these 3 spaces. Or maybe I could do it here and explode this guy instead. But wouldn't I already use one? Is this possible with 3 beams? I don't think it is, right? Sorry, what? No, I need to use 1 bomb here. So let's try this, I guess. Now we have 3 beams. And maybe it is possible, hold on. Yeah, maybe it is. So, you go here. You do that. Oh, actually I can't get you in here properly either. Although I can get you in here like this. What? Wait, no. This is going to look really awkward. Yeah, and the yellow bean hasn't helped at once. Okay. So 2 yellow beans instead. Using 1 would just return me into the state I was in previously, with 2 reds and 1 yellow. Again, I want the explosion to occur... Oh, maybe the roller can be here. That seems a lot better, and then the explosion can occur here. Yeah, that seems way better. Alright, let's do that. Okay. So now that happens. I can put the bomb here. And set a recipe to look like this. And blow you up. Okay, that should give me all the beans I need. 2 explosions should be easy with two pairs of bean colors. So the first one does this. And then the second one does this. Alright, cool, we're done. Nice. Interesting puzzle. I'm starting to see the danger in this island. If the 1 beam puzzles are starting to look like that, I wonder what's gonna happen with all the rest of the puzzles down here. Alright, next one. Pillar. Okay, Vine and Cloud getting involved now. Bean recipe is that. Sorry, bucket recipe is that. Roller recipe is that. I don't think that's exchangeable. Exchangeable? Interchangeable. This one looks very hidden in here, so I feel like there's no way I can get this to work. Similarly here, there's no way I can change this, I think. Although a vine could change that, I think. So a vine could remove your recipe. What is that? Oh, that makes a roller. Okay, so how about a vine... Oh, hi Bunny. Get back. You're late. How about a vine pulling in a green bean? Well, no, because... Well, no, because... Wait, what? The vine can pull in a cloud, I think. And the cloud will shoot here, so I think that's what I want. Yeah. Okay. So let's start by initiating or creating the vine recipe. Like that. The vine must now exist here. And then I can create a bucket here. The problem with that is... Well, actually there's no problem, I don't think. It's gonna take a while, but we should be fine. So Vine here will start grabbing the beans here. I can create a bucket at... No, not at this point. At this point, let's do 2 beans here. At this point, I can create a bucket, because the recipe is just 1 bean. Pushing across Sure, allow me to interchange the recipe. So now the cloud's recipe is green. And now I can create a cloud here. Okay. And when the cloud gets grabbed in, it will shoot this thing along its way. There you go. Alright, that was much simpler. Partially because I've already solved the other puzzles. The tactic used there was the same one used here for these three. And now I can go down. There are still stuff to read here. I think I'll do that first. How bad or good are the puzzles here? 3, 3, 4, 3, 4. Okay, and there's actually supposed to be a bridge here, I think. But there isn't. Okay. Twins. Oh, actually, where are the 5-beam puzzles? Oh, there are no 5-beam puzzles here. Interesting. Is there a... I think maybe these are the 5-beam puzzles, and there are like 8 of them. Yeah, these are the 5-beam puzzles, and then these are all the warm-ups, or something like that. Sure, why not? Let's think of it that way. Okay, let's do some reading. Carl's message. To whoever finds this, we have been unable to leave the temple for 5 years now. But if our plan was successful and the monster we created has guided you here, then you should be reading this message very soon. As far as we know, this makes you the first human soul to find the temple since the day we activated it. I must confess that when Frank told us what he thought our creation should look like, I rolled my eyes. But of course he was right. It was much easier to imagine someone forming a bond with a bunny than with either of the creatures we could have in our lab. So yeah, my assumption was right. The bunny that we have been following is the monster they created. I didn't want to say it, but it's true. We all hope it's been a kind and loving companion to you, with hope and gratitude. So hooray, the bunny has led me here. I don't know where it is right now, but yeah, it's there. Ooh, look at these colors. Okay, any more reading to do? No, that's just a hallway into another puzzle. How about over here? So yeah, this message tells me that the bunny that has been following us or guiding us through the temple the entire time was a work of them. This is Michelle. Alright, Michelle's message. To whoever finds this. So when Frank asks a question in that silly tone of voice he's always using, I have to admit that I usually just tune him out. But it was actually one of the questions that ended up sparking the idea that kind of saved all our lives. It was so obvious, I'm amazed it never occurred to any of us earlier. The temple sends us to these islands to solve puzzles, but what's on the other side of all that water? The clouds are always too thick to see too far away. But there had to be something. We didn't want to try it on this island. I really don't like hanging around here. Something about all this fancy old stuff makes me worried I'm gonna break something. But when we already had our process for making artificial islands, and it was easy to do it again. After we finished, we went to the new island without any clue what to expect. We made a boat just big enough for all 4 of us and picked a direction. It could have been more than an hour of road until we saw another island through the clouds and we pulled ashore. And that's where we've been living for the last 5 years. It's not too hard for us to go back and forth to the temple, but we don't really come back here too much anymore. We've got everything we need to wait for your arrival back there. Huh. Okay, so they've been surviving there for 5 years, meaning they have an ample supply of like food. I guess water isn't really an issue. They could maybe build like a... I wanted to say dialysis, but I think the word I was looking for was filtering system. Dialysis? What? Yeah, I meant to say filtering system. They must have built some filtering system for the water. And then the food, I guess they could just live off the land. The island they must have been to is probably some actual legitimate like wild island with nothing on it but like, you know, wildlife and stuff. That's my guess, and that's how they've been living there for 5 years. They can go back and forth between the temple and there though, so I think that's really nice. Okay. That's some lore for you. Next puzzle. So we have just one more to go, one more 1-bean to go. Indecision. Let's solve this one. Alright, bunch of white beans. Currently, the clouds recipe is 1. So I see now that I guess if I have another recipe that's also 1 white bean, that is not going to create anything. Meaning that a bucket recipe has to be at least 2 beans from now. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to change this thing, it's just too far away. Hi bunny. Are you actually a bunny? Since we don't actually know what you are. Okay, so bucket. How are you going to grab or pull something through without you shooting the bucket? If I just got a regular bucket to bring something through, that would create another cloud, right? Yeah. Okay. I need a bomb, and I think a bomb in here just works. Of course, it looks like I need 2 white beans here at the very least, because... yeah, that's what I'm gonna need. to create an actual bomb in the first place. Okay, however, I see that if I put one bean here, because both of these recipes are one white bean, there will be no valid monster for you to shoot. And this should be good enough to get all the beans through, right? Oh, hey, stop that. I need to leave one white bean here to keep you confused. But this should allow me to walk through with 2 beans. And that's good enough. Okay. Okay, put that down. Okay, so with 2 white beans, I should be good enough to pick a bomb and get out of here. Sweet. Alright, that puzzle solution just came into my head. I didn't really think of putting a bean here, because it didn't look useful. But it was actually used for a blocking mechanism. I like that. Not very intuitive. But okay, with that, we're done with that puzzle. Honestly, I feel like I want to stop here. I've already struggled so much on 1 bean puzzles. I think going into any 2 bean puzzles is just going to be completely a nightmare for me. And surprisingly, there are only 2 bean puzzles. So once we're done with those, we move on to the 3 bean. 9-fingered guardian. Hey, that sounds like just the carpet. I want to go see what it looks like. Is this the 9-fingered guardian? Oh, it's the one down here, I think. Yeah, that's a guardian with 9 fingers, I guess. Ah, don't go in, no! Oh, look at it, it's now red. Man, I've stained the map. Horrible. Okay, anyway, yeah. I've had fun with these recipe things for now, but I'm gonna rest here. I'm definitely not going to continue these. I'll work on them next time because I have just struggled too much today and I do not think I'm gonna have any brain power left for this. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye!